Chiefs and the Bills. Boy, the Chiefs look unstoppable right now. And so it's kind of cool that we get to see them face off against the team that feels like has been their AFC foe in the Buffalo Bills. And this one is in Buffalo. If it was in Arrowhead, I'd be a little bit worried for the Buffalo Bills with it. But this one being in Buffalo, I think that with them starting off the season hot and then them really struggling for a couple of weeks there, bouncing back a little bit last week against the Carolina Panthers, in my opinion, the Bills are going to get the Chiefs' best. The Chiefs are going to get the Bills' best. And I think that's what makes this such a great game to preview and to watch. You want to talk about the Bills side of things or the Chiefs side of things, Dalton?
Look, the Bills' best has mostly involved this year James Cook and Ray Davis and Josh Allen and the tight ends in this run game getting downhill on teams. We know the Bills don't have that one top-flight receiver that they can go to all the time, but they do have one of the best running backs in the league, actually the back leading the league in rushing grade in James Cook, and then a terrific offensive line and tight end group that is third right now in run blocking grade behind the Rams and the Colts, and they are first in the NFL in yards before contact per carry. That is going to be big against a Chiefs unit that, for the most part, when you look at the production, their run defense has been average or so, even in the grading. A lot of the rushing yards per game marks allowed there, they're pretty average as far as in total, but the big split here for the Chiefs run defense, okay, is the grades between their defensive line and then their second-level defenders. Something similar I talked about with the San Francisco 49ers earlier in the show. The Chiefs' defensive line has the second lowest run defense grade in the NFL. So you would think, you hear that and you go, oh man, they must be awful in run defense all the way around, right? The guys are getting to the second level. It's a problem. Well, the one thing saving them, much like the 49ers, is that their back seven, the rest of their defense, linebackers, defensive backs, seventh in the NFL in run defense grade. Those guys are going to be in the spotlight. Nick Bolton, as always, at middle linebacker. Drew Tranquill's been great. I could go all day on how valuable Leo Chenal is to this defense, whether he's at linebacker or lining up off to the edge. Shamari Connor and Jaden Hicks, a couple of big hitters on the back end at safety. Brian Cook has contributed as well. That's what you're going to get at, is it looks like the Bills in the run game have a big advantage on the first level. How well can those second level guys tackle James Cook and Josh Allen, especially in the design run game, and how well can the Bills control the pace of this game and control time of possession with the Chiefs offense running so hot?
Man, I am so excited for this one, and that is absolutely one of the matchups that I'm looking forward to. You know, when we were talking about the Broncos and the Texans, we had Teron on a little bit ago, and he was talking about how Sean Payton would have 2 or 3 plays every single week that he thought were 100%ers when they got in the red zone. That is sure how it feels with the Kansas City Chiefs over the last 3 weeks, because that's really what I'm looking for in this game when it comes to whether or not the Chiefs can go into Buffalo and get a victory here. Over the last 3 games that Kansas City has played, they are top 5 in both red zone percentage, so converting a red zone trip into a touchdown, not just a field goal, at 80%, which is crazy high. Third in, and they are top 5 in third down percentage everywhere at a 48.57%. So they're top 5 in the areas that you really want to be elite at, and that's scoring touchdowns in the red zone and converting on third down. 78.9 offensive grade in the red zone. That is also top 5 there for them. How did the Bills defend that? In the Bills' last 3 games that they have played, so a little bit of a what have you done for me lately type of a thing. 71.7 defensive grade in the red zone. That's 7th in the NFL since that week 5 mark. And so the Bills have been pretty good clamping down in the red zone against teams, but the Chiefs have just been so red hot, especially with getting Rashee Rice back in the mix. I know a lot of people just talk about what Rashee Rice can do as a whole for the Chiefs offense. I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'll continue to say it. Who Rashee Rice is in the red zone for this team is really where you get the value. And I think that is going to be where this game is won and lost. If the Chiefs have anything close to that 80% red zone percentage that they have had over the last 3 games, they are going to win the game. But if the Buffalo Bills can hold them below 50% on their red zone trips, I think Buffalo wins this game. I can't pick against the Chiefs right now. I just can't do it. However, for the sake of my own enjoyment, I'm going to say this is an absolute shootout, and we're going to get the best of both offenses. 35-33. Kansas City wins this game.
I'm with you, too. I think you're going to get a lot of points scored because I think both offenses have their advantages in this game. The Bills on the ground, the Chiefs certainly through the air. We'll see what the Bills linebackers look like. It sounds like they're getting both Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard back in there, but those are guys the Chiefs have attacked before in coverage. And one other name to look out for is the rookie first-round pick, Maxwell Hairston, out there at cornerback. Played 27 snaps in his first NFL game last week, recovering from a knee injury, so maybe he gets even more involved, or Andy Reid decides to attack him when he sees him out there. But the big difference in this game for me is that the Chiefs are the number one team in coverage grade in the NFL, and the Bills are number 29. I just worry about how in big moments they're going to get stops, and this has been my question for the Bills the whole time. How are you going to get stops against teams like this in big moments? I know Josh Allen sometimes can carry you through it, but that also feels like him and the run game controlling the pace is the one way the Bills win this game. I trust the Chiefs defense more. I think it is going to be high scoring, but the Chiefs know how to get stops in those big moments. 31-27 Kansas City.